Hello, once again, this is Brother Teacher. I'm going to tell you some things that you need to hear, and many of you probably don't want to hear, but many of you will appreciate the things that I'm going to share with you if you don't already know. Now, feel free to turn this video off at any time if you deem it necessary. But I'm going to tell you the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. For some reason, these years, people don't want to really endure truth. It's funny, most of us children, when we grew up, our parents always told us never to tell them a lie and to always tell the truth. But it translates differently when we become adults. People just don't want to adhere to the truth. And as the old saying goes, the truth shall make you free. They say the scripture says set, but it doesn't say set. It says shall make you free. Now, with that said, in industry, in America, all of the corporations, in other words, what are they in business for? To make money. If you answered that yes, that's true. Businesses are in business to make money. But what is unfortunate is the heads of these major corporations don't care about you and I. They say they do. They advertise as if they do, but their practices don't indicate that. I'm going to point out a few things to you, and I'm going to say these things to you out of love, nothing more, out of love and concern for my fellow human being. These are some of the things. This is just sort of the scathing of the surface, but these are some of the things that I think you should take note of and reconsider if you are using these particular products or services even. These are some of the things that I'm going to advise you to alter in your life or to even remove. Talking about the things that we purchase and that we use every day. So I have about maybe 6 things I want to tell you. And you will see me peer down because I'm looking at my notes so that I don't leave anything out. One of the things that I want to point out to you is that when you cook, a lot of people still cook conventionally. Stop using Teflon coated pans. Pans that are coated. Non-stick pans, some folks want to call them. I don't care what they promote, how easy you can cook an egg and it slides out the pan and it doesn't have food or grease sticking to the pan. Sounds good. But what else sounds good is you having good health. These pans are not healthy. Let me show this to you one more time, this particular pan. This is a frying pan. Okay? That is a coating. That coating, when this pan was made, was sprayed into it. And if you've ever had a Teflon pan or any coated non-stick pan, you will notice over a period of time, especially if you've had it for a few years, it begins to chip off on the inside. But I want to make you aware of another thing. When you heat those pans to boil or to fry in, that material that's been sprayed in there sweats, and the ions from that chemical that was sprayed in there leaches out into your food. So what's wrong with this, you might ask? It's carcinogenic. It causes cancer. Enough said. I'm not going to go any further than that. It causes cancer. What you should use, stainless steel pans and pots. And an alternate also would be what I call crockery. The same thing that your coffee mugs are traditionally made out of, or clay pottery, that type of material to cook in. It's going to be a little bit more pricey, but most of them last many, many years once you purchase them. But you may want to consider that. Okay, I've taken care of that on my list, or our list. The next thing I want to bring to your attention is canned foods. I always tell my constituents, my students, my family, if you're going to buy produce, vegetables, fruit, get it from the garden first, organic, hopefully. That should be your first choice. Your second choice, if you don't have that available to you, should be frozen. If you had a second choice, it should be frozen. Your very last choice or alternative should be the can. Can should never be first. These are canned tomatoes. Come back to that in a second. And the reason cans should never be first, and I know a lot of people like to stock up on canned goods, just to say that my pantry is full. But ignorance for some people is bliss, because you have never been told any different. There's something lurking in the can that we don't know about. First of all, cans rust. You agree? Thank you, I'm sure you did. You probably have seen these in the dump, lying on the street, maybe lying outside one's garbage bin, and it's rained on them, or they've been sitting outside for a while. You will see rust on the outside. Well, let me let you know this. When your vegetables are packed in cans, to prevent the can from rusting internally, which is the same steel can, they spray the inside of the can. So when you open the can and you look inside the walls of the can, it is a different color than the outside of the can. Similar to the Teflon or the nonstick pan that I pointed out a minute ago. That spray that they're spraying in there is estrogen. Yes, female hormone estrogen, but it is synthetic estrogen. Go figure. They found out many years ago that they can make plastics or resins out of the hormone called estrogen, synthetically. A lot of your plastic bottles are made out of estrogen, believe it or not. Do your own due diligence. So what's the problem, you might ask, brother teacher, with the estrogen being sprayed into the can? The same thing happens as with the pan. Especially when you have something as acidic as tomatoes in a can. That acid that's in your tomatoes breaks down the estrogen that's sprayed inside the can, and it's absorbed into the tomatoes. And it's not just the tomatoes, but it's everything that's in a can. So you are consuming, and your family is consuming, synthetic estrogen. And what happens? Birth defects. One, and cancer, ultimately. Are you following me so far? I won't go any further with that. Do your due diligence, and you'll find out that what I'm telling you is true. You want the next one. This is number 3 on the list, and that is microwaves, cell phones, flat screen TVs or televisions, laptops, tablets, computers in general. They all give off radiation. When you're holding that cell phone to your ear and you feel heat, even if you don't feel heat, there is heat present, and that's radiation. And it's going inside of your ear, inside your brain, inside of your head. There's a few ways that things enter your body. If you've watched my previous videos, first of all is ingestion. That's through your mouth. You eat, you swallow. That's one way it enters into your body. Number 2, inhalation. You breathe it in. Number 3, it is absorption. You absorb it through your skin. Hence, the cell phone. And even the laptop computer that I'm looking at right now. It's emanating. It's coming from, it's radiating from the screen. The plasma televisions or the flat screen televisions and the tablets. Every electronic device in your house is giving off carbon, various other chemicals, and radiation. So take your microwave, unplug it, stop using it, and get back to conventional ways of preparing your food and the food for your family. Because we don't need radiation in our bodies. Even when you go to the hospital and the doctor have you lie on the table, and they isolate the body part that's going to be x-rayed with radiation, of course. They put on a vest and they step in another room while you're being exposed to radiation. They're not standing out there with you. Radiation kills. And while I'm on this subject, I didn't intend to bring it up. When people have cancer and they have chemotherapy normally and radiation therapy. Let's skip the chemo for right now. We'll come back to that in another video. But let's go to the radiation. The radiation does kill cancer cells, but it also kills the good cells. It cannot distinguish what's good and bad. It kills all of the cells. And when you're killing not only the cancer cells and killing the good cells, you are destroying the individual's immune system, thereby creating a greater possibility of them having cancer again, or the cancer coming back with a vengeance. Enough of that. I'll stop there. So I just covered the radiation part. Now, ladies and even men, sanitary napkins, tampons, baby diapers, even adult diapers. You are putting these things on or against your skin, against your body. Did you not know that the material that these items are made with contain chemicals? And what's one of the ways that things enter into your body? Through absorption. So ladies, if you're on your menstrual cycle and you're bleeding, and that pad is inside your panty liner, or inside your panties, I should say, against your body, there's moisture there. Even moisture from perspiration, however subtle it may be, but there's moisture where there's heat. Okay, there's moisture there. And what else is there? Absorption. Absorption of whatever that material is made of into your skin. Okay, ever wonder why sometimes you have to have a hysterectomy? That's one of the reasons. Especially when you're taking a tampon, which is made of chemicals as well, and you're placing it inside your vagina, so you're giving yourself a greater propensity or greater advantage of contracting a disease from the product that you're using. Diapers on your babies. What are they made out of? We think, oh, it's just an innocent piece of plastic on the outside, and it's just an innocent cotton liner. All of those things have chemicals within. They're made chemically, okay? Especially when you have fragrances. If you can smell it, if you can smell roses, bouquet, lavender, it's a chemical. And are chemicals good internally for our bodies? No. So, brother teacher, what are you to do about the sanitary products? How are we going to take care of our womanly business every month? They make products that are chemical free. They make sanitary products that are chemical free. They're natural. You just didn't know about it. You never thought about it. You never asked about it because it was never really something you thought about. But there are naturally chemical free sanitary products, both for internal and napkins, as well as diapers, adult diapers and baby diapers. There are alternatives to those. Virtually everything that is chemical, there's an alternative. Okay? You can do the research. But in my conclusion, I'm going to tell you something that's necessary for you. The last item for this particular segment or this video is drinking water. Do you know what you're drinking? Your tap water. Tap means the spigot, the faucet that's in your kitchen and in your bathroom and your bathtub. The water that we consume, and that's called municipal water. It's the water that we all use. It's the sewage water that's being treated. The same water that leaves your toilet, that you do your business in, the same water that you shower in, it is all recycled again, and it sits in a reservoir in our city. Okay? It's cleaned and it's recycled back to us as drinking water, as shower water, as toilet water. Okay? Now, in their process of cleaning it, they add many chemicals. Not only that, there are many chemicals in that same water from prescription drugs that have been discarded, that have been flushed down the toilet. And when you multiply one individual that's flushing their prescription medicine or their old medicine down the toilet by thousands that are doing that, it becomes significant in number. And so that becomes part of our water system. And then you're talking about rain. When it rains and all of these chemical companies and all of these factories, their chemical waste goes into our rivers, into our sewer systems. And guess what's in the sewer system again? The same water that's going to be processed, purified, so to speak, for us to drink and for us to bathe in. It's in the water. There's pathogens. Pathogens are living organisms, parasites, and so forth. There's chemicals. Chlorine is one. Yes, chlorine is in our water. I'm sure you probably already know that. There is also lead. Lead causes neuromuscular disease. Lead is responsible, along with mercury, which is also there. They cause Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, or other forms of dementia. Yes, they do. They cause cancer. There's also arsenic. And there's also Roundup. You know what Roundup is? Roundup is one of those pesticides or herbicides that's used to kill insects on farms. It gets into the air. They spray it heavily. They spray your crops, your farm crops or your vegetation heavily with Roundup and various other chemicals or pesticides. Because if they don't kill the insects, the product never makes it to the supermarket without being eaten up. So they think they're doing a good thing, but we are consuming that same poison or those same poisons that's sprayed on our, what again? Our vegetables, our vegetation. And you can't just rinse it off. That's why they came up with an organic section in your grocery store. Now, mind you, It's all organic. The real difference is one of it has not been treated with pesticides, insecticides, and herbicides, and another one has. And you have the choice. The so-called organic section is going to cost you a little bit more. It really shouldn't. What should really happen is that they should stop spraying our food in the first place. So you're going to ingest this, and your family is going to ingest these chemicals along with your vegetables and your fruits. I didn't mean to go this far, but let me say this about that real quick. What's the remedy for the vegetables and the fruit being sprayed with the chemicals? First of all, try to buy organic. Get yourself a fruit brush, nylon bristle or boar's hair bristle, whatever, doesn't matter, but a fruit brush, a vegetable brush, and apple cider vinegar. Get you a basin, put about 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in there, and fill the basin up halfway with water, and brush your fruit and your vegetables off before you cook them. Okay? That's one thing that you can do for your organic. There's virtually nothing that you can do to remove the pesticides other than externally from your other vegetables and fruit, because for the most part it's already absorbed into the flesh of that fruit and vegetables. Okay? Just so you know. Now, as far as your tap water is concerned, how do we remedy the chemicals and the poisons that's in our water? There's no nutrition there. There's no good minerals for your body in there. It's all been killed off. So how do we remedy us having to drink that water? Invest in a filter for the sink. I have one for my kitchen sink, have one for my bathrooms, made out of activated charcoal and coconut for my bathroom sink. And I have a filter. If you watch one of my earlier videos, I have a filter for my shower head that takes out the heavy metals. It takes out the pathogens, and it feels good. And you can tell a difference when your water is filtered. It tastes different as well. It is difficult to get rid of all of the heavy metals. That is why we should detox on a regular basis. Every month you should detox. You can detox every week. Now, don't make detoxification sound like it's a chore, like it's a grave undertaking, because it's not. It will become a part of your everyday living, and it's very subtle once you get used to it. It is real simple to detox. And I'm not talking about running to your local pharmacist and buying one of those expensive $20, $30 instant detoxes, which is laden with chemicals again, and it's not good for your body. You want to detox naturally. Now, stick with me, listen to or watch my earlier videos on detoxification. And if you don't, for some reason, go back and find them, or you can't find them, please leave me a message in the comment section below, and I will steer you to some ways to detox yourself from heavy metals. I will steer you to a way to detox yourself from parasites that might be in your gut or your intestine. It can be done without traditional medication. Now, by no means am I saying don't follow your doctor's instructions. I'm not telling you that. I'm not advocating that. But understand this. Your doctors, your physician, your medical doctor's primary purpose in going through medical school, the American Medical Association, their primary purpose is to prescribe you drugs to alleviate the symptoms and to prescribe surgery. Those two things, nothing else. Drugs and surgery. Many of the ailments that we experience from day to day, common ailments such as diabetes type 1 and 2, can be eradicated. Heart disease can be eradicated if it's not too far gone. Lung disease can be eradicated. It can be fixed. It can be repaired, and it can be repaired naturally. The problem has been and will always be those individuals that don't go through the process. They want an instant or a magic pill. They want an instant result. If it doesn't work in 1 day or 2 days, they stop doing it. Just like an exercise program. If I haven't lost 20 pounds in a week, then something must be wrong with this product, or something must be wrong with what I'm doing. And it's really not. The problem is you didn't gain the weight overnight. You gained it over a period of time. And it's going to take a period of time to lose weight. And you didn't get the disease overnight. It was a process. So you're going to heal yourself over a period of time too. And I'm not talking about years. And I'm not talking about 8 or 9 months either. I'm talking about within 30 to 90 days for many things. You can be healed. But you know what? Here's where the rubber meets the road, my friends. You must discipline yourself to be disciplined. In other words, you must decide that you're going to stick to it. And you must put on your big boy and big girl pants and understand this. If I really want good health, then I'm going to do what is necessary to have that good health. Even if it means stop eating processed foods. Stop drinking dairy, which causes cancer. Did you know that? There's an alternative to dairy. It's called almond milk. It's called coconut milk. It's called rice milk. There's a lot of remedies to a lot of the bad habits that we have. But we love the taste of all of the bad things. You need to stop consuming white flour, white rice, white sugar. It's all processed. White bread is processed. What you saying, brother teacher, processed? Processed means that it's made in a factory. It's made in a laboratory. It's stripped of everything that has nutritional value. Has none in it whatsoever. Now, to read a package when it says fortified with, enhanced with, that means they're trying to put something back in it that should have never been taken out in the first place. Okay? I'm going to stop right here. And I'm going to tell you once again, the only reason that I'm telling you these things is because one day in my life, I began to take my health seriously. And I hope that you decide to do that today if you have not already done so. So, again, if you have any queries or questions, please feel free to message me in the comment section below, and I will answer you. And for those that want to be a troll, you want to say something negative, you want to say that I'm a quack and I'm not giving you anything that's of value, may God, Yahweh, bless you through your ignorance. Because some people just don't want to let go the industry's grip on them that they have had on most of us all our lives. But the industries, the corporations, Big Pharma has been killing us in startling numbers. It's time that we open up our eyes and get the real big picture and understand that we are the cause of most of our conditions. This is Brother Teacher. I'll see you in the next video. You take care. You and yours. So long.